What's up, my friend? Welcome back to another video, and today we are taking a look at the newest addition to the Atelier series called Gabrielle Flute. So this is a musical sampling library that is, that's just been released recently, and they've decided to sample the flute this time. So if you kept up with the series recently, you know that they've been taking a look at the jazz, the big band side of things with horns and saxophones and things like that. And it's really nice to see them take a further step into the orchestral realm, and this time taking a look at the flutes. And I have a lot of good memories as well, I wouldn't call myself a flute player, but I did play the flute and piccolo in high school. A lot of good memories there. And so I really have an appreciation for the flute. It's one of my favorite woodwind instruments for sure. And it just takes a lot of air, a lot of breath support, and a lot of control to really get the sound that you're going for. So yeah, let's just quickly dive into this library. So at the moment, it's $49 and it will be $79 starting on December 12th. There's basically 4 main patches: workhorse, emotional, fat lead, and a breaths patch, which is super useful as well. It's a legato flute with natural progressive vibrato. A lot of libraries sound a bit unnatural if they don't have any vibrato, or if they have vibrato but it comes in right away after you press the note. The natural progressive vibrato is the beautiful in-between that makes a library actually sound natural and emotional and human. So it's great to see this here. And then it's recorded close with mixing flexibility, just like the rest of the Atelier series. Relatively dry. You can add your own reverb as well. And it's a pretty small library as well, 1.8 gigabytes. Okay, so let's kind of dive in. Let me just and here's a little blurb about Gabrielle, great player. All right, so let's dive in. So let's start with the workhorse patch. Here is the library. You can see it's a very simple library, literally just 7 patches. And I'm only going to show you 4. I'm only going to show you the natural patches here. The tuned patches are the same as the regular ones, but they're just tuned, right? The tuned patches are just tuned versions of the natural patches. So those fit better in context of a fuller ensemble, whereas the natural patches work better in context of a soloist line, for example, if they don't have to line up harmonically with anything else. So let me just stop talking. I'm going to start with the workhorse patch. We'll go all the way through here. We'll take a look at the breast at the end, and then we'll do a little giveaway as well. So big thanks to Aaron for providing us a copy there. Okay, let's dive in. Here's the workhorse patch for Gabrielle Flute. All right, so one thing I really like about these patches is that it basically doubles as a staccato patch. If you want some more like attack on the beginning of the notes, these patches do that really, really nicely. And the workhorse patch especially is kind of an all-rounder, right? So if you want some legato lines combined with the occasional short note, this patch can do that really, really well. If you want a full demonstration maybe of some lines in context, then definitely check out the walkthrough on Musical Sampling's channel. Aaron's done a great job putting that together. So that's the general workhorse patch. Let's move on to the natural patch here for the emotional performance. And so here we might expect kind of a softer, more pulled back, more mellow type of performance where the arrangement maybe is a little bit more sparse and you want a more exposed flute line. So let's hear this. All right, so a very buttery, very warm performance there throughout. And then let's also hear the fat lead patch. This is more on the opposite side of the spectrum for fatter, bigger performances where you really want this flute to cut through the mix. This is the patch to choose. So let's have a listen to the fat lead patch. Yeah, so the big passionate performances really come through on the vibrato, especially because as soon as she starts vibrating, you can really hear the depth and that waver in the performance that really sells that human, passionate, emotional element. Compared to the emotional patch, the performance feels a lot not tame, but it feels more well-rounded and almost restrained. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Whereas for the fat lead patch, it's almost on the verge of overblowing in a way. It's so out there. It's so forte. You can really hear the intensity behind the performance, which I do appreciate. So yeah, a really great patch there as well. And then finally, again, a pretty simple patch here with the short and long breaths. Let's have a listen. All right, so you hear as we go up on the keyboard, the longer the breaths get. And naturally, the shorter the breaths are, the better they are for, let's say, fast, agile performances, or maybe you have a phrase where there's kind of a rest, but it's a really short rest, and she has to take a really quick breath to get into the next passage. The short breaths will do really nicely there. And then vice versa for the longer breaths, if you have, let's say, a phrase with a big melodic line, or if there's like lots of slurred notes in succession, then a longer breath would make sense because you want her to have more breath to carry for that line. Also, if it's a slower piece, a slower passage, then a longer breath would also make sense if she has more time to take that breath and really express herself passionately over the course of that phrase. So yeah, beautiful library. Again, great work, Aaron, and the whole musical sampling team. Thank you again for sharing this library with me and also for my subscribers. Speaking of which, let's kind of get into the giveaway. So as usual, there are those 3 rules. Number 1, fill out the form below in the description box. So if you click there, you can just register your details and you'll be into the system, and I'll email you within a couple days letting you know who the winner is. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2, make sure you leave a comment under this video letting me know what you would use this library for. And I would also love to know which one is your favorite patch out of these 4 so far. Let me know why, which patch kind of resonates with you, which one do you envision yourself using the most. I'd love to know. And then third and finally, just leave a like on the video. Again, it always helps the channel. It's greatly appreciated. And it just lets me know that you're enjoying the videos, right? So that's always a great thing too. So thank you again for watching. I appreciate it. I'll catch you in the next video. And take care, my friends. Bye-bye.